Because I can't see much of the sky, it's easy to feel claustrophobic. There's wildlife all around me, and so far it's friendly. This area of the rainforest actually has the highest concentration of jaguars. But what I feel is that the real dangers for me are going to be the little things. You know, the scorpions and the mozzies and the snakes. Just walking along, I need to be careful and watch where I tread. Step over a log or grab a vine without looking, and I could get bitten. Look, you see that? That's a feather-lance snake. And that's why you've got to be so careful moving through the jungle. And yeah, it's got the diamond pattern, and these guys are responsible for more deaths in Central and South America than any other snake. They're unbelievably deadly. And feather-lance literally means lance head. When they strike, that will inject almost quarter of a shot glass. There's hemotoxic venom. And if that struck and bit me, I could well be dead by nightfall. It's 4 p.m. and it's already beginning to get dark, and I've just got to get some sort of shelter made quickly. We're only a few degrees north of the equator here, which means the days and the nights are of equal length, and when it gets dark, it gets dark really fast. It's also the middle of the rainy season now, and when it rains, it really pours, and if I haven't got some sort of shelter made and a fire going by the time it's night, I'm just going to be dinner for every mosquito in this forest. This site's no good. Falling trees and branches are the biggest killers of people in the jungle, so I need to find clear ground. This area should do, it's dry, there's no stream nearby that could flood it, but more importantly, there are no ants, and it's ants that are the real kings of the jungle. And I tell you, when there's a colony of ants on the move, it just destroys anything. But the first thing you need to do to build a shelter is clear the ground, and you don't want to be using your hands for this when you're clearing leaves, just because there could be snakes or, you know, scorpions around, so use a stick. But you need to clear a good area of underbedding and get, if you can, back to the bare earth, and it's on top of this that you're eventually going to line it. I'm not going to bother to make a raised bed because I'm only going to be here for one night. Most snakes and scorpions won't want to cross open ground, so clearing away the leaves should be enough to put them off. Okay, that's the ground cleared here, and I can use these 2 trees as uprights, and now I need to cut myself some cross braces for this. And this will do. Without a knife, this would be impossible. Hardened jungle guides always carry a machete, but even with this small blade, I can do much more than just survive. Even a penknife would be better than nothing, and using a piece of wood as a hammer, I can chop down thin trees easily. It's going to be a very simple lean-to structure. It doesn't need 2 sides because there's very little wind in the rainforest, and the rain is only going to come straight down. I'm desperate to get this done quickly. The sky is still light, but only about 2% of that light finds its way down to the forest floor, and once the sun sets, I won't be able to see a thing. I'm using biagua leaves to make the roof of the shelter. I'm making a tear each side of the stem so I can hang the leaves on the cross pieces, creating a natural equivalent of a tiled roof, and it should be pretty watertight. The air is thick with mosquitoes. They're annoying, and they can carry diseases like dengue fever or malaria. The longer I'm out here, the greater the risk. And this termite's nest is going to help me. It's one of the best mosquito repellents in the whole rainforest. And this stuff might look like dried mud, but it's actually digested wood, and in effect it's termite crap. This is the only reason I'm going to bother making a fire. I don't need the heat, but I do need a break from the mosquitoes.
And while I'm here, I need to make use of these. These are only little, but they've got masses and masses of protein in these things.
In fact, pound for pound, termites contain more protein than beef or fish.
And actually, even though they look horrible, they don't taste too bad.
But when they are this small, I'd need to spend a long time catching them to get a decent meal. And right now, I need to get a fire started.
Out of all the times I've been into the jungle, I've never gone in with just no fire-making tools. But what I can do is try the bow and drill method. And I've got a bit of paracord from my water bottle to make this bow. I've got a good straight spindle here, good strong hard wood, and all I do is bend this, take a turn around it so it's really nice and tight. Place it into a notch I've made down there, and a bit of wood on the top to stop it digging into my hands, and then just slowly start to drive. And I hope you create enough friction to create some embers. And then it's those embers I don't want to be tipping into all that tinder.
It's really hard to keep the spindle upright and work the bow at the same time. And while it's not too difficult to get smoke, creating an ember big enough to light a fire is something else altogether.
Okay, here we go. It's coming, there's a bit of smoke now. I just need enough embers to tip into this tin thing, and this should be it. Here we go, come on. Ember. And it's just such a relief to have a fire going. It's taking me an hour to get this finally sparked, but when I've got it going a little bit more and put this termite stuff on it and get rid of some of these midges.
I have to say I feel pretty good. The fragrant smoke of the termite's nest is going to keep the mozzies at bay. I've got food and water, fire and shelter, and I found a river that'll lead me out of the jungle. All I need now is a decent night's sleep.